Hi there. This one is taking a fresh look at right and wrong. Do these go away with awakening? And so I figure you can't get much of a fresher look than through a child's eyes. So here we go. This is the journal from 8/4/2010, the first of that day. The Mayan day was 5 dog. And I'm recording it just because the one I just recorded referred to it. And I want to be able to put a link in there. I like linking things up for you. That way, if your heart wants to go there, you can. You don't have to, but it's available. Sometimes when we get these intuitions and things, it's nice to be empowered to follow the flow and not have to go fishing around, because by the time you go trying to look up the date of something and look through a whole bunch of stuff, maybe you've lost that inspiration. So here we go. I have a tough one for you. Well, for many of us to look into. I want to explore right and wrong. So let's be sure to be in heart for this one. Mind will not like it at all. Center down. Nor do I know what will be found in this exploring either. What do I know? Ha! What I do know, though, is that right and wrong, along with all those other dualistic concepts, are the territory of mind. Mind feels at home there. Mind feels useful in that domain. Well, and let me state this up front. I am not enlightened. There. I've come right out and said it. I do not claim any such thing. That's a whole other concept and exploration, though, and I'm not going there now. I just wanted it said for the record. Awakenings are happening all over the place. Awakenings can go through and do many stages. We can be progressively awakened more and more. This is more of the territory where I abide right now. Maybe it's just rising up in the dimensions. I don't know. I don't have a mind definition for this. So whatever it is that I am, you can feel it. And that's what I offer. Let's not put a name on it. And I promise that soon I'll do a journal on enlightenment, a more recent one, for there are some older ones out there. But meanwhile, back to the here and now, and right and wrong. What are these concepts that we seem to hang on so tightly to? What do they represent? And what happens now when we take a step up and out of them and look back down, metaphorically of course, on that old territory? What do we see? Let's be like Einstein and step up above and have a look. I see the old game of duality, of good and evil, right and wrong, yes and no, hot and cold, yin and yang, that whole thing. Am I above that now? You might not like the answer. Yes and no. Yes, in that things are simply seen as a whole from here. There is none of this separating them out that way. It just dissolves, disappears. No explaining that, not even knowing where it all went. It's just gone. You wake up, you look around one day, and all that is just not there anymore. Maybe the Andromedans or the Syrians or someone on the higher dimensions could explain this, but you know, we don't need that. We're fine where we are. Just follow heart. I'm very accepting of such things. I don't go to the mind for explanation or chase my tail around that way for very long anyway. We all do some of that. It has been proven to me that mind has none of the answers I seek. So I don't use it for that. I just rather accept and go on. And by the way, I highly recommend this. It's a great peaceful way to go on. Right and wrong. These aren't, oh, just a minute. My little fella lost track of me there. These aren't the first part of duality that disappears on us. At least that's been my experience, which you've got to realize now is all I can speak of and speak through. And you've got your own. Don't ever let mine or anyone's, invalidate you. Stay in heart and you'll just know things. Trust your inner self. You can trust this one. No one and nothing in life out there can be trusted. All that appears just passes away and isn't known for being too truthful while it appears. But inner self, source, God, the Great Spirit, whatever we call it, can be trusted. As the faithful companion, too. Remember the Footsteps poem. Moving back to the subject, right and wrong. When did these go for me? You know, I really don't know. I just looked one day and found they were not there. Or let us say they went through a radical readjustment, a realignment. What is quote unquote right is what heart does, where heart leads. But wait, it is not wrong not to go that way. Pardon me, friends, for using those double negatives like that. What is right is what heart does, where heart leads. But if you don't go that way, that's not wrong. Maybe it's not right in the highest sense, but it's not wrong either. One of the things that happens is you begin to see how all the things you thought were wrong before, you begin to see the underlying rightness that was hidden away within them. You didn't see it before, but it was there. All along, there was a rightness operating there. Okay, my little fella. Now, let's exercise those neck muscles and do a better job. All along, there was a rightness operating there, operating everywhere, but you and we were blind to it. Do you see this even now in your life operating somehow? It may be subtle, but I bet it's there. You see, this right and wrong thing only operates on the surface of life. Oh, it's legitimate enough there. It's really not right to kill or to steal. It really is right to offer understanding and love. Sometimes it's even right to offer tough love. Yes, these exist, right and wrong, even still, if life is viewed from the surface perspective. Go very deep, though, and they just seem to disappear. I don't know, maybe it's the tough love of the Creator at work. What do I know? And that's too conceptual anyhow, so let's leave it aside for now. Don't have enough evidence for that one, and heart doesn't leap at it. So, moving on. There are whole books written on why does bad stuff happen to good people, aren't there? Maybe you've spent some time pondering on this one for yourself. It's one of the deepest questions. Or, why do the bad people seem to have it so good? And maybe that's the reverse side of the same question. Anyway, what do you think of this? Oh, wait, never mind. I don't care what you think. What do you know? That's a much better question. That one takes you to heart. What do we know? Well, we're not living just on the surface anymore. If you were, you wouldn't be reading these journals. They drive mind nuts. And the surface life is controlled by the mind. That is mind's territory, the surface of things. That's where science lives. What do things look like? What can we prove? Poor science. Oh well, with quantum physics, that old cabal is being broken into, chipped away in important ways, and that's good. There's a interesting typo there. It's supposed to be deepening, but it says deep ending, going pretty much everywhere. It's interesting since a lot of people haven't recognized this yet, so they're a good bit confused by what's going on. And that's okay, though. It'll all come out in the wash, as they say, and it's all good. All us babies know that. That's the thing, too. You get new eyes to see with. These new eyes of yours have a strange component or ability. They have an inability to see anything wrong or dark or evil. All those are just concepts. These new eyes, see, they really didn't ever exist in the first place. Everything just is. It is neither good nor bad, right nor wrong, or any of that. There is no evil. There is just confusion and just ignorance, and that's not evil. All this is just stuff that's been used to separate us. That's pretty much what happened to right and wrong as well. This is not situational ethics either. We don't look to see what the surface situation calls for. That's all backwards anyway. That's not real living. That is to be totally taken in and used by the mind to play games with. Your mind's play toy, if you're a believer in the rightness of situational ethics. That's in my opinion, of course, and I just realize those are a dime a dozen. Everyone has plenty. Mind still thinks there are things out there, things that are important. These new eyes don't see things that way. The new eyes know that out there is merely the mirror for in here. Out there is the joint mirror of everyone's inner life. You don't fix things in the mirror. That's silly. So, in that way, there is really nothing out there. It's just an image, a mirage of sorts, nothing really there. Now, that is not to invalidate the outer life or anything. That is not to make it worthless in any way. If you're going there, do realize that is the mind at work, playing with you. Stay in heart, or you'll go wrong. You won't hear what's really being said. With these new eyes, we realize that the heart is the center of cosmos. All is accessed through there anyway. Heart is the real place, the place of reality, capital R. Heart knows best somehow. It has its own mind somehow as well. Haven't got that one figured out yet, nor am I putting any effort into it. Things just come to you when they're ready, when it's time for them. It's a waste to be overly concerned about them. All is perfect. Just be with the flow and let go. Through these new eyes, we see the beauty in everything. And that's surprising at first, to be sure. Mine does a flip. How can this be? It says. Something is wrong. It must be. Poor mind. When the worst things that happen, and even to you,